How you doing, everybody? Randy Richardson Shop. Little weekly catch-up here. So, Stan's Summer Bash is coming up in a couple days, this Saturday. And I've got a couple things here. I'm going to be bringing some stuff. I'm going to bring a nice dovetail cutter right there for Stan. That will be a raffle prize or door prize or something like that. Whatever Stan wants to do with it, it's up to Stan. So I'll be supplying one of those. I'm also bringing 11 more dovetail cutters that will be for trading and selling. So we'll see how that goes. I thought I'd try to help out a little bit there and bring some stuff. I don't really have too many tools to trade away. I have a minimal amount of toolings, really, so I make some tools. And these are all made out of 4140 pre-hardened, and they come with a TPGB 321 insert and everything. So you see me make these, and I've given quite a few out to other YouTube contributors and such. So they work really well. That's how I made all my tool holders for my Logan lathe with this. So anyway, so I'll be bringing those, and Don Cossett's coming with me. I won't say anything about the sign behind me. So anyway, Don Cossett's coming with me down there, or I'm going with him. He's driving down on Wednesday, actually, and he'll get here at my house on Thursday, and then we'll spend the night, and then we'll be heading out on Friday morning to head to LA. And we're gonna on the way down, we're gonna stop and pick up Ben Zittner also, and a friend of his and stuff. So we're gonna all carpool down and have a good time on the traveling there. And we'll get down there hopefully early enough to help Stan out with setup and things like that. That's the plan. So I got some mail to show you. I have a sliding T-bevel. I'll show you that. A little mod I did to it. A friend of mine made these, and I'm gonna. He's got a bunch of them supposedly. I hope he still has them, and I'm gonna see about getting him to modify them so they're sellable items, so we can get rid of them. And we're gonna hopefully have them really cheap. I'm hoping he still has them. Let me put it that way. So if he still has them, we're going to do something with them so we can get rid of them. They're pretty nice. Also, I got a new photo. Not a new photo. I have a photo I want to show you. I've been looking for, and I didn't. When I showed you my other ship picture, this is another ship picture, and a little brief description of that. So yeah. So I won't be putting up. I'm going to make a little short video for Saturday's release. Because I'll be down at Stan's. So we'll get something up there. A little machining work, actually. So thank you guys. Thanks for your support. I'm not sure what's going on with Stan. Stan's with a podcast thing, maybe things like that. But you know, a lot of YouTube contributors are coming, and so it's going to be a pretty fun time. And I don't know if there's any spots left on the RSVP because Stan is limiting that, and there might be a couple spots. I know the other day there were still a few spots open. So if you want to go, RSVP him and see if you can get in. So that's about all I know right now. So thanks, you guys. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. I hope to hit 5,000 actually in the next day or so. I only about 5 away, I think it was, this morning. So Very cool, very cool. Appreciate everybody watching and subscribing and all the great comments I get, and it's just participation in general, all the participation, you know. And but let me show you some mail I got and the other things, and we'll be seeing you and talking to you. We're hoping to have a good time down on Saturday. Okay, bye. Mail came. This is from a fellow YouTuber, actually. Lock Cracker. I will put his link up, of course. Now, if you haven't watched his channel, he doesn't have a lot of subscribers yet, but does some little bit of reviewing. He's a pretty honest guy, and so he does CNC work and locks, and he makes some really cool tools. His first name is Phil. He asked me not to say his other name, what's his name. Nice packaging. Some bolts there. Okay, we'll have to, I don't know if that's just packaging. That's kind of cool. He used a stirrup box. Anyway, he contacted me just a few days ago, actually. Oh, wow, that's heavy. Heavy's usually a good sign. Very nicely packed there, Phil. Very nice. Let's open this one. A DeWalt DWP611R Premium Compact Router. Anyway, he had this. He didn't use it. He was going to use it, or used a little bit, as a high-speed spindle on his milling machine. And now he has a Tormach. But this is one of the types of routers folks mount. So this is basically brand new, and this is what folks mount on the X-Carve here. If you want a more powerful spindle, so you can do metal, you can do some aluminum there, and you know, maybe some brass, they say. They even make a mount for this, but their mount, I looked into it, their mount clamps on here, and then I still have to build another part to make it go on X-Carve itself. Let me show you up over here. You know, to mount right on here, this would all have to come off. So I'd have to build a new one anyway, or part of it. So I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to build the whole thing. Instead of, or I could buy theirs and then still build the plate part and then attach it. So I haven't quite decided yet. But this is very cool, Phil. Thank you. This is very cool. This will, let's see here. Oh, there we go. Screw the nut. You can take all this off. You just take all this off, really. And just use the, just use the spindle here, the motor, and such. Well, it is brand new, Phil. Well, I owe you one. And very, very cool. So we'll be able to mount that on, make some nice deal and mount that on there, and have a little more oomph to the whole process. Let's see what else we got here. These are some collets. Little spring collets, ER type collet. And there we go. That's a little one. That's a little one. That's probably about an 1/8. Yeah, Precision Bits, who makes these. I think that's an 1/8. I can't. It doesn't say it on the box, but yeah, it has part numbers. But and another one here, and and a bit, or a piece of tool steel. Doesn't look like a bit. Looks like maybe a tool steel thing or what? Oh, calibration blank. Oh, the 1/8 inch calibration blank. So you can put that in there and measure the TIR. So, boy, that says it's down to half of a 10,000th. Holy smokes, that's pretty accurate. There, some cleaning pieces, Q-tips there. Thank you, Phil. And this must be bolts for bolt for a mount, maybe we could use on a mount. Little info about the collets. Okay. I don't think this. I think this is just packing. Gonna fake me out with the old stare-it thing there, huh? Yeah, I think that's just cardboard packing. But I better make sure. Yeah, that's just cardboard there. Okay. What else is there? This is really heavy. Boy, oh, maybe it's a mount. Oh, yeah, he mentioned this. Shoot, I forgot he had mentioned something. He had a mount for the router or something, or he was going to use. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's a chunk. That's a chunk of metal there. That's like an inch thick almost. Oh, here. Scale right here. Yep, that's an inch thick. Oh boy. Foot long. And boy, 4 inches wide. So 12 by 4 by 1 with 2 different size holes. I'll bet that goes right in there. Yep. Well, all I know is that is part of my mount. Right there. That goes right in there. Those bolts go in there. There we go. I think a lot of my mount work is kind of done almost. I can't do it by hand, but anyway, that goes in there. You guys can see that, and the switch and stuff. Now, I did get. I ordered when I ordered up the X-Carve, I ordered up a speed controller. Now, they made some mods to their power supply in between, and it has a speed controller in it, but it's for DC motors. So I don't know if the other one is really for a DC motor. Well, this was probably really, this is a brushed motor, I'd imagine. And so it is a DC motor, but we're not running DC through it. And anyway, I might have to look into a speed control and see what we can do there with so we can control the speed. I'll get my glasses. This is 16,000 to 27,000 RPM. So there may be it's variable speed right here. Well, that will help get it down to 16,000. But if I want to go a little slower, I need some other kind of control. So I will maybe look into doing something like that. But I don't remember what the speed on this on the X-Carve is. That spindle off the top of my head. But I could cut this, build this into a mount, probably for that. Very cool. Oh, this is what he used on his milling machine. This probably goes fit on his milling machine, and then he had the spindle out here. I mean, it had the router out here. He had sent me a picture. Now I remember that. So this was on the milling machine, and he could use the milling, and there's a high-speed router. Well, Phil, thank you very, very much. I will put this to very good use. And we'll get some projects going with that. So, thank you again. Like I said, I owe you one. And I'm going to stick some stickers in the mail to Phil. For now. So, this will be a fun little project here, getting this going. Oh, I want to say, I will put his link up. So, everybody visit Phil's channel, check him out, check his machining out and stuff and his videos. And you might learn something, especially about locks and stuff. That's what he does. So, very, very cool. Some more mail came also here. A couple pieces of 1/2-inch stock. So I'll be getting back to the what's in your box tool. I'm doing the punches. So what I did is I ordered up some S7 as suggested by several people. Maybe a better material for the punches. So I was able to order up some. It took a while to get. And so I'm going to figure out what we're going to do there. And maybe I'll make another test one, but I don't think so. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get going and figure out and put it out there, the name, or for people to volunteer who wants to make some punches, and I'll be able to use some of this stuff. I mean, I'll make some punches, and somebody else could get the other piece and make punches also, especially for the starret and some of the pin punches, center punches and the pin punches. Maybe something like that. Use this material here. So we could probably get 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 8 punches out of all this here. So I can, and I have some W1 drill rod also we could use for some of the other punches, and that way whoever is going to be doing it, I can probably supply almost all of the maybe all the material for all the punches, and I can just send that to folks so we can get the punches made. Anyway, so that's what this is for, this S7. This is a photo of one of the other ships I served on, the Exxon Benicia. This photo was taken in the port of Valdez in Alaska. 165,000 deadweight ton ship. Horsepower 23,000, maybe a little more than that, 23.6, 7. Steamship, 2-boiler steamship. Very good ship. I sailed on. 175-foot beam. That's across the ship, the width of the ship. I want to say about 75, 76 foot from the main deck here to the bottom of the ship. That's not what's above the water, but to the bottom of the ship. The ship right here, this is a loaded picture. A full load right there. And the length is I think it was close to 1,100 foot length in the ship. I served as a third engineer, second engineer, and first engineer on this ship, and it was a good ship. Good ship. It's razor blades now. We had a lot of good times there, and did a lot of good work on that ship. Many times into Alaska. So yeah, I finally found this photo. I've been looking for it, and a good friend of mine, he was a radio operator at the time, down and lived in California, and he took this picture. It's kind of a little bit grainy because it's blown up quite a bit. No digital back then, so this was actually from film. So thanks a lot, you guys, just to show you that picture. So this is a sliding t-bevel here, big one. Has an issue, a little design issue. This slot needs to be down here, and this needs a radius, because this, being the way it is, I can't put it into a corner, you know, right here, right? And sliding t-bevels need to be able to go into a corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a radius on there, which is 0.612, just so happens, and we're going to mill this slot down to where it needs to go so we can stick it in a corner. So we'll take that off. We're going to describe a line on here at half that height, which is 612. I'm just going to use the height gauge here. There we go. There we go. Now we got, yeah, we got. You can barely see it, but we got a scribe line there. There we go. And I'm going to double check my. Yeah, pretty close. This is not, doesn't have to be super accurate, so, but it needs to be, we want kind of close. So now we're just gonna scribe that line. There we go. So see if we can see, you can see that, we can see the radius line there. And I'm just going to sand that off on the belt sander real quick. This is stainless steel. We'll just kind of sand it off. And then we'll mark out where, then we'll figure out where, how far down the slot needs to go. There, all radiused off. Yeah, we're going to put this up again, we'll put the sign bar up against here to figure out where this needs to go. We want to add a little clearance, so we're going to add 1/16 of an inch or so. That way it could swing around and not hit anything, but it can go into the corner. And I'm just going to put a little scratch mark where that slot needs to go, at least to the end. There we go. So you can see that little scratch mark right there, right there. That's how far the slot needs to come down. So we'll set up in the mill and mill that slot out. Okay, milled out, cleaned up, and now we can come on down and we can still fit into a corner now for angle measurements. Be a little mod. A little fix up of a little poor design there. We got a little more mail, and just getting it out of the box there. This is from a viewer, and he's a long-time viewer. He's down in Southern California. And he also posts on homemadetools.net stuff he makes. He does a very nice job, it looks like here. This is a really small machinist jack. that he's made, and it's about that's already screwed up to about 2 inches there, 2.5 inches or so, and it has accessories with it. So it's here, I'll take it all apart. This is the little base, about 1 inch tall, 1/2 inch 20 thread. He's taken a 1/2 inch 20 bolt that he's machined actually. So let's see. Looks like there's a ball down inside, but anyway, and he's made a little lock collar. Goes on there, and also a little set like locking screw here on the side also. So you can lock that down at height. They made an accessory. So one accessory just rolled off. So this is a little accessory. It just slips in there, very nice. He's a little V groove in it, and a little indent for a ball if you want to put a ball in there. If you want to have just point contact on something, you know. Very cool idea. And then he's got another one here that sets down in there. A little support. Go either way. Tall pin or a short pin stick up. For a little more adjustment in height. Say it's very nicely done. Very nicely done. A little machinist jack. You can use that over here on the surface plate, or use it on the mill. Very cool ideas there. So again, thank you, Paul, and we'll be talking to you later.